Okay, so I'm sure some of you guys have stumbled upon this album if you've been listening to music on YouTube. It's the Flying Beagle album by Himiko Kikuchi, an album that's been recently popping up on YouTube and everybody's recommended. It is a jazz fusion album that just slaps, and has a really cute cover in my opinion. But why is it that this album in particular has been getting such traction? If you haven't heard this album before, I highly recommend that you go ahead and listen to it. It is definitely one of those albums where the cover really captures the essence of the music. You can really judge it by its cover, and overall it's a really good album. But yeah, this album has sort of sparked out of nowhere and has been appearing on people's recommended sections. The original upload of it was made way back in 2018, but it wasn't until 2022 that this album started to become popular. Back in May of this year, the Himiko Kikuchi album had less than 90,000 views on its original upload, and just a month after that it gained a good amount of 400, almost 500,000 views. And 2 months after that, the video was already surpassing the million counter at a whopping 1,500,000 views. Surely the YouTube algorithm wouldn't be the one to be causing this to happen, right? Well, yeah, you could make your theories about how YouTube is secretly manipulating its algorithm to show us what it wants. But generally, I think it's more so a combination of the algorithm and the cover. I mean, how are you not gonna click on a cover that shows a happy beagle dog? At least that's how it did it for me the first time I ever saw it pop up in my recommended. And tons of other people can attest the same. I clicked because of the cover, although I can't say with much confidence that I stayed because of the music. Cause seriously, the music for this album is some of the juiciest and most hyped up jazz I've ever heard. All of the tracks are so good, especially the opening track with its saucy bass and phenomenal keyboard. And what in my opinion is my favorite track out of the bunch, the second song titled A Seagull in Clouds. I just love how liberating it feels to the ear, and how laid back it is too. You can always feel yourself cruising through the skies when listening to that song. And not to mention the later songs in the album that take you in a whole speed race with how fast paced and energetic they are. But yeah, as I was saying, I think the reason behind this getting as popular as it did is because of both the attracting cover and the algorithm. You could obviously count the music too as a factor though. But this puts into perspective a bigger question. Is the YouTube algorithm really shaping up people's musical tastes and in turn the current generation as a whole? This hasn't happened just once. The fact that an album or even a whole genre of music has been pushed by the algorithm and in turn gotten popular. Take for example Vaporwave or 80s city pop music. Back in 2016, the rise of the Vaporwave genre was huge. It became a staple in YouTube. And not only that, but tons of creators started to adopt the aesthetic of it and it became part of their image. People out here nowadays are still rocking that Vaporwave aesthetic. And then you got the case of very old artists getting their resurgence on YouTube, like Maria Takeuchi and Miki Matsubara, which became popular due to their songs being pushed all over the platform. I think there's many examples of lots of songs and genres that have become popular thanks to the YouTube algorithm. But in a way, we also gotta take into account other platforms that have also had an effect on YouTube. Hate it or not, TikTok's been a huge part of that lately thanks to the massive traffic of people that it contains, and the power that it has to make things viral. Nowadays, lots of songs that end up being popular on TikTok end up being popular on YouTube. I mean, if you happen to spend your time on the internet, I'm sure you discovered or know many songs from YouTube that you otherwise wouldn't have found if it wasn't because of the algorithm. It's kinda cool to think about it, how the YouTube algorithm is pushing what it wants. Sure, it's a machine that was designed to push the videos it sees fit, but that in itself is quite interesting to think about, how this program and machine just decided to basically make all of these videos discoverable. It moves the wires for things to get recognized, but without a public, the algorithm is nothing as is. I mean, there is some level of control that we've got over the algorithm. We can influence it in some aspects, but it's more so a collective effort rather than the effort of a singular mind. So, looking at it that way, the algorithm is the collective consciousness of every single one person who visits YouTube, a collective hive mind that knows what to push forward, in this case music. It is very much its own thing, the soul of the crowd. And this algorithm has gotten to the point of pretty much shaping a whole generation's perspective on music and overall style. Not fully per se of course, but it has had an impact on the digital world. Like I know it might be an obvious thing for some, but it is kinda crazy to see it in such a perspective. How the YouTube algorithm has shaped not only people's music tastes, but also people's personalities and likes. All in all, the only thing I've gotta say about this is that I am very much happy to see the algorithm push this kind of music, and have it be recognized by a new generation and become a sort of timeless piece on the internet space of things. To have these artists be appreciated by a public that they would have never imagined long into the future. Just like it did for Himiko Kikuchi and the Flying Beagle album. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts. I just kind of felt like making this video mainly because I wanted to share just how I felt about the Flying Beagle album. I still remember when I first checked it out and it had less than 100,000 views. I was absolutely in love with the album, and I would end up coming back to it just to listen to the album again and see it grow from time to time every time I watched the video. It was almost like an experience of sorts, seeing those numbers grow and the comments be filled with more and more people showing appreciation to the music, and the dog itself that's in the cover. You wouldn't believe just how many people there are commenting about this dog, bro. But yeah, it was real awesome to see in a way. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys know any other obscure songs that have been pushed by the algorithm and in turn gotten popular? If so, it'd be great to see your responses in the comments. But yeah, that is all from my part. If you guys want to subscribe and just see me ramble about pretty much anything else in the future, then please go ahead. Would very much love to have new people come by and be happy and entertained by my stuff. But yeah, I'll see you guys later, man.